Assalamualaikum and hello to Prof. Dr. Nazrina binti Aziz. We are from Group A5. We will present about relationship between sleep habits and academic performance toward SQS students.
My name is Nur Akila Syafiqah binti Muhammad Nizam and my matric number 280030. I will start the presentation with the introduction. University students frequently have sleep irregularity, quantity and quality issue which can negatively impact their academic performance. Students often struggle with attention, memory and problem solving if they do not get enough sleep. Karawaka 2021 stated that there are two biological variables that influence sleep, which is chronotypes and sleep pattern. Chronotypes is individual preferences for scheduling the sleep-wake cycle, and sleep pattern is personal bedtime and wake-up schedule. There are three objectives in this study. Firstly, to identify the level of student difficulties in maintaining regular schedule for waking up and going to sleep. Secondly, to investigate the student's sleep routine during weekend and vacation. And thirdly, to investigate if students prefer to sleep at late to obtain better study results. There are two scopes in this study, which is extracurricular activities and student-led night activities. That's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter.
Sampling method. There are many sampling methods that we can use to estimate things like sample mean, total population, variance, and more. What sampling method will be used is based on its suitability on the data itself. There are several types of the probability sampling. The first one is simple random sampling. Type of statistical population whose properties are studied has an equal chance of being selected. A basic random sample is intended to represent a group in an unbiased manner. The second one is stratified sampling. When you wish to verify that particular features are proportionally represented in the sample, this method is acceptable. You divide your population into the strata and then choose a random from each of these subgroups. The third one, systematic sampling. It includes selecting your sample using a regular interval rather than a completely random selection. It can also be utilized when you don't have a comprehensive population list. The fourth one, cluster sampling. When you are unable to sample from the full population, this method is acceptable. You split the sample into clusters, then roughly mirror the entire population and then choose your sample at random from the among this cluster. In this research, we will use a simple random sample. Simple random sample is a subset of population choosing a random. Each member of the population has exact equal probability of getting chosen using this sampling technique. This approach is the simplest of all probability sampling methods since it just includes a single random selection and it requires little prior knowledge of the population. System random sample is used to make a statistical judgment about the population. The advantages of SRS are that it's seen to be a fair method of selecting sample from a bigger population since every member of the population has equal chance of being chosen. A sampling error can arise when a simple random sample fails to correctly represent the population it is designed to represent. Estimation of parameters in SRS. In SRS, we can estimate the population mean, total population, variance sample mean, and the proportion of SRS.
Hi, I'm Atila, number matric 280298. So today, I will present methodology. For our project, we use simple random sample technique to find data for our project. Simple random sample technique is a type of probability sampling in which the researcher randomly selects a subset of participants from a population. In our project, we randomly select students from SQS as our sample. Next, for alternative sample, we can also use stratified sampling techniques to find sample. Stratified sampling is a sampling that divides a population into smaller groups known as strata. We can classify population with the course that they taken. For example, first strata for business math, second strata for industrial statistics, and third strata for decision science. Then, we can take our sample from each strata. The pros of using simple random sampling technique is it represents the entire data for population and randomly selects from the population, while for the stratified random sample, it divides the population into smaller groups that share the same characteristic. The cons for stratified is the researchers needs more time and budget for the sample to find their sample.
I am Atira Dalawida, number matric 280034. For sample size, we have choose 50 students from 847 SQS students as a sample size in this project. Around 70% of those who answered the survey were female compared to male. There are 3 groups of age that provide in the survey, and the majority of the age that answered the survey were from age 21 to 23 years old. There are 3 courses in SQS, which is industrial statistics, business mathematics, and decision science, and the majority are from industrial statistics. For data collection, we have created Google Form to get data from the respondents. There are 2 parts in the Google Form, which is Part A and Part B. For Part A, we use multiple choice answer to simplify respondents to answer the questions, while Part B, we use Likert scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For questionnaire, we divide for 2 parts, which is Part A is about respondent background and Part B is about respondents lead heavy.
Next, we continue with our group results. For Part A, which is respondent background, there are 37 females who answer our Google form. Only 13 respondents are male.
Hi everyone, my name is Arti Umara binti Muhammad Nazman and my metric number is 280698. I will be continuing with the age. So, we have 3 categories of the age. We have 18 to 20, 21 to 23, and 24 to 26. According to the data received, majority of the respondents are from 21 to 23 years old, and the others are 18 to 20 and also 24 to 26, which is really low, and the same quantity also, that is 3 people.
For race, based on the table and the graph, the majority respondent answered this Google from a male student, which contributes 74% out of 100, while the others are from Chinese student and Indian student. Out of 50 respondents, 37 are from Malay student, 10 respondents from Chinese, and only 3 respondents from Indian.
The graph shows that 17 out of 50 respondents are from business mathematics, while for decision science, 10 of them, that is equivalent to 20%, are being surveyed. Meanwhile, 23 out of 50 respondents, which is 46%, are from industrial statistics of the course, respectively answered the survey.
The bar graph above shows semester of the respondents. Based on the graph, the highest number of the respondents are from semester 3 or 4, which is 43 respondents, while there is no respondent who come from the semester 7 or 8.
Next, for Part B, I have difficulties to maintain a regular schedule for waking up and going to sleep. Based on the graph above, there are 19 students who vote for strongly agree and 16 students agree with the statement, while the remaining are vote for only disagree and moderate. For this statement, we got 3.82 for estimation of population mean, 3235.54 for estimator for total population, 0.0313 for estimator for variance sample mean, 0.38 for estimation for population, and 0.0045 for estimation variance for proportion.
For question 2, I will change my sleep routines on the weekend and vacation. Based on the graph, the highest vote is strongly agree, which is 24 out of 50 respondents voted for it. The second highest vote is agree. There are 16 out of 50 respondents agreeing with the statement above. Besides, there are 5 respondents or 10% of them rated moderate. Next, there are 4 out of 50 respondents voted for disagree, while 1 respondent chose to vote for strongly disagree. From the table, we can calculate estimation of population mean. As bar, we got 4.16. For estimation for total population, the head we got 3523.52. And for estimation for the variance sample mean, we got 0.02025. For estimation for proportion of SRS strongly agree, we got P hat equals to 0.48, Q hat equals to 0.52, and estimation for proportion of SRS strongly agree, we got 0.004793.
The bar graph demonstrates the statement of I usually will take a short naps at any point of the day. Based on the graph, the highest number of the respondents strongly agree with the statement, which is 19 respondents, while the lowest number of respondents strongly disagree with the statement, which is 2 respondents. From data calculation, the standard deviation is equal to 1.3342, estimation of population mean X bar equal to 3.66, estimator for total population tau hat equal to 3100.02, estimator for variance sample mean 0.0335, estimation for proportion, which is strongly agree, is 0.38, and estimation variance for proportion is 0.0045. Bar graph demonstrates the statement of I always lose my night of sleep. Based on the graph, the highest number of respondents strongly agree with the statement, which is 13 respondents, while the lowest number of respondents strongly disagree with the statement, which is 4 respondents. For data calculation, standard deviation is equal to 1.3211, estimation of population mean is bar equal to 3.36, estimator for total population tau hat 2845.92, estimated for variance sample mean equal to 0.0328, estimation for proportion for strongly agree 0.26, and estimation variance for proportion is 0.0037.
For the I usually study for an exam at night, based on the table, we can see that out of 50 respondents, none of them strongly disagree with the statement, while there are 2 respondents who disagree, and 9 of them choose moderate Likert scale. Meanwhile, most of them agree, 14 respondents, and strongly agree, 25 respondents, on the statement that they usually study for an exam at night. Based on the table, we can calculate the estimation of the population mean, which total fx or xi divided by n sample, which we can get x bar equal to 4.24. For the total population, just multiply the population mean with the n population. For variance sample mean, if we follow the formula, it will get 0.015025. For the proportion, I choose to do proportion who choose strongly agree in 50 sample student. We can get P hat 0.5 and Q hat 0.5, and for variance proportion, we can get 0.008 for 8 calculated based on given formula.
For question 6, I have to badly forward and or academic activities to achieve my objectives. Based on the graph, we can see that many respondents, which is 20 out of 50 respondents, voted for strongly agree. Besides, there are 19 respondents or 38% of them agree with the statement that I have to ballot forward and or academic activities to achieve my objective. Next, 10 out of 50 respondents choose to rate moderate, while the rest choose to vote for disagree. From the table, we can calculate estimation of population mean S bar, and we got 4.16. For estimation for total population T hat, we got 3523.52. For estimation for the variance sample mean, we got 0.0126. For estimation for proportion of SRS strongly agree, we got P hat equal to 0.4, Q hat equals to 0.6. And estimation for proportion of SRS strongly agree, we got 0.004609.
So, next question is about I prefer to sleep late to obtain better study results. Based on the data we received, the highest scale received is 17, that is the strongly agree. It is about 34%. And the lowest scale received is 1%, 1% that is they strongly disagree, which is just 2% of it. Meanwhile, the other goes to disagree, which is just 7 people, and then 11 people more choose to neutral, and also last but not least 14 people choose to be agree. The calculation for this part is the standard deviation we get is 1.06924, and then the estimation of population mean x bar is equal to 3.78, estimator for total population tau hat is equal to 3201.66, estimator for variance sample mean is equal to 0.02152. Estimator for proportion, the strongly agree is p hat equal to 0.4. And last but not least is estimation variance for proportion equal to 0.0043.
For next question, I always read the newspaper or academic document just before to sleep. Based on the table and graph, we can clearly say that 9 out of 50 respondents strongly disagree and 19 respondents disagree, which contribute 38%. Meanwhile, 12 of the respondents choose moderate rate and the others, which 8 respondents choose agree on the statement. In addition, only 2 people choose to strongly agree on the statement that they always read newspaper or academic document just before going to sleep. Based on the table and info provided, we can calculate based on the given formula. The estimation of population mean x bar is equal to 2.5. The estimator for total population tau hat is equal to 2117.5. The estimator from the variance sample mean is equal to 0.022468014, and the estimator for proportion of SRS for moderate is 50 of samples to date. We got p hat is equal to 0.24, which 12 divided by 50. Q hat is 1 minus 0.25 equal to 0.76, and the variance sample proportion is equal to 0.0035.
Next, I usually listen to music before going to bed. There are 15 respondents that vote for strongly agree and agree for this statement. 13 students are vote for moderate, and the remaining are disagree and strongly disagree with this statement. For their calculation, we got 3.7 for estimation of population mean, 3133.9 for estimator for total population, 0.0248 for estimator for variance sample mean, 0.3 for estimation for population strongly agree, and 0.0040 for estimation variance for proportion.
Now, the last but the question is question 10. I usually go out at night even though I have to wake up early the next day to go to class or work. The study shows that 2 highest scale, which is disagree and agree. They have 11 respondents, that is 22%, and the lowest is also 2 of them, that is strongly disagree and also neutral, that is 9%. 18%. Next, we continue with the calculation. The standard deviation we get for the question 10 is 1.4136. Estimation of population mean x bar we get 3.04. Estimator for total population tau hat we get 2574.88. Estimator for variance sample mean is equal to 0.03768. And then we get the estimation for proportion agree and disagree, which is p hat is equal to 0.22 and q is equal to 0.78. And the last one is the estimation variance for proportion. We get 0.003. That's all. Okay, we have reached to the calculation of the group project. The study that we get. The study is to discover the relationship between sleep habits and academic performance in SQS students. From this research, SQS undergraduate students were found to be agree and strongly agree to sleep late or even sacrifice their sleep for academic. For 5.1 limitation, we only invited SQS undergraduate students to participate due to a shortage of time. Due to the workload and assignments and assessments, the students' sleep level were found to be high because study was conducted at the end of the academic session. Okay, 5.2 Recommendation. Students must manage their time, their sleep well since it is crucial to their mental health. It is to get an excellent academic outcomes. We must refresh our mind, sleep well, and reduce stress. In order to have a clear image, more research should be done during the academic session speak, that is week 8. That's all from us. Thank you for listening.